Good evening. Welcome to day 24 of our 21-day series. My name is Prashant Sopori, and I am joining you this evening from Detroit, Michigan. A little bit about myself. Professionally, I'm a management consultant, and I live here in the Detroit, Michigan area with my wife and daughter. I've been practicing Sahaja Yoga meditation for over 30 years now, and it will not be something which is not right if I say that Sahaja Yoga journey for me has been truly transformational. And I'm looking forward to sharing some of those learnings, those insights, and experiences with you this evening. Once again, as a quick reminder, we'll have foot soaking as part of the agenda today. And if you have not already, now is the time to get your foot soaking setup done. For that, you'll be requiring a bucket of water with water up to the height of your ankle with some handful of salt into it. Alongside, you will require a separate jar of water to rinse your feet after foot soaking has been completed, and then a piece of cloth or a paper towel to wipe your feet clean once the foot soaking is done. In addition to the foot soaking today, we'll also be doing an ice pack treatment, which is immensely beneficial for the balancing of your right side. For the ice pack treatment, you can use any form of ice pack. It could be a gel-based ice or a pack of ice or a block or just a bag filled with ice. Now, in case if you don't have your foot soaking or your ice pack available to you right away, that is totally fine. You can still follow along and carry on with the session with us. If you're joining us for the first time today, a big, huge welcome to you. And if you have been on the journey with us all along, welcome back. And in case if you have missed any of the sessions during the course or are not able to follow something that we are discussing today, that is totally fine. You have all the previous session recordings available to you. You can go and peruse those at your time and place of convenience at us.sahajyoga.org/21 days. Besides, we have an excellent mentorship program, which has been greatly beneficial to many other seekers who have signed up for that. The way you can take advantage of the mentorship program is by going to the chat and filling out the mentorship form, which will allow us to pair you with the right mentor. A mentor is your friend, your advisor, your partner, who can really assist you along your Sahaja Yoga journey and accelerate the journey, the progress in this journey for you. They can meditate alongside you at your time and place of choosing, and then answer any questions that you may have as you're going through the Sahaja Yoga journey. So please take advantage of that. Now, a quick recap. On Sunday, we talked about the qualities of left side. Left side balance, a balanced left side allows you to overcome your emotional challenges. It allows you to overcome your conditionings. Today, we'll be discussing about the right side qualities. Right side has the quality of dynamism. And this dynamism helps you to carry out things without any effort. And we'll learn how we kind of go about doing that. Now, once again, a quick reminder that Sahaja Yoga is always free. You cannot pay for evolution. And as aptly put in Shri Mataji Nirmala Devi, who is the founder of Sahaja Yoga, in her own words, you cannot pay for the power that has created you. So with that said, we will embark on today's program, and I will do so by inviting my fellow presenters and musicians for this evening. So welcome, Andrei, welcome, Heidi, and then also Neil is here as well. Thank you guys for joining. Let's take a minute to introduce ourselves. Maybe we can start off with Andrei just on my screen, so we can go with Andrei, then Neil, and then followed by Heidi. Andrei,
Good
over to
evening,
you.
friends. My name is Andrei, and we hail from Romania, where we started our Sahaj journey as well many years back, and we have been really enjoying sharing it through this medium as well as in person, and that was the just a little extra flourish from how much we have been benefited from every side, really, over 30 plus years of doing it. I'm a pediatrician. I work in baby intensive care, and I'm looking forward to have a lovely meditation with you all tonight.
Maybe Neil, you can go next, please.
Hi everyone, my name is Neil. I'm originally from London. I started Sahaja Yoga there in 1997, and it has definitely been a life-changing experience. Along my journey in Sahaja Yoga, I picked up this instrument because I became very interested in Indian classical music, and I've been practicing this instrument for 15 years. It's called the bansuri, and it has 6 holes, and it's a very simple instrument, but it's very hard to play. Anyway, I'll be playing a small piece for you today as you meditate, and hopefully you enjoy it and it will deepen your meditation. So thank you.
Looking forward to that, Neil. Over to you, Heidi.
Hello, my name is Heidi, and I live in Seattle, Washington, the northwest corner. I actually started Sahaja Yoga when I was living in the southeast corner of Florida and lived on the East Coast a fair amount. I feel like, it's been a long time, but it really gives you a focus and a direction in your life. I felt beforehand, perhaps I was just going through life and trying to figure things out. And then Sahaja Yoga gives you, or gave me anyways, and I think it gives many others, a feeling of where we want to go more clearly. And it's a beautiful journey. I've been participating in the 21 days in the chat and the mentoring. And the mentoring is really great. It's been wonderful to meet people, and it's not a formal program at all. It's really getting to know somebody and setting up a connection the way that works for you. How frequent and how infrequent is really decided, and getting to know some different people over time is really helpful.
Fantastic for sharing that, Heidi. Well, with that, thank you. And over to you, Andrei, for the first part of the session.
Thank you, Prashant. So Prashant has alluded to the fact that we have now started a second cycle, and we understand that there is a number of people who have come new on board. And if we can have the slide with a subtle system, you might recall, or you are just learning, that our mainframe as a human being is what you see: 3 channels of energy, 1 maternal and extremely sweet but also extremely powerful evolutionary energy that flows up the central channel once we start this journey of Sahaja Yoga. And as she goes up all the way, she creates an axis in our being, so we can really have something solid to truly measure the right and the left against. The left is the side of our desire and emotion, our moon side, and the right, on which we will be balancing a little bit more today, is our action. You also see depicted a flame kind of around the area of our heart. That is our ultimate perfect consciousness, the pure self, the spirit. And we try to reach that point of view, to identify more with how the spirit is, what the spirit sees and experiences, rather than the 2 balloons that you see in our head, which on the yellow side is our ego, and on the left side is our conditionings. And you also see that the hands in the drawing, they have the chakra colors on it. So each hand reflects the channel that is on that side. And when things require a little bit of cleansing, that side will feel either a little hotter, which is more often on the right, or a little numb or prickly, and that can be both. And this is how we know which we have to address first. There's many ways of deciding what to address first, but this is one of the main ones. So we will go ahead and raise our mother energy, the Kundalini, and give ourselves the protection / balance that we call it the bandhan. So again, slowly and deliberately with the left hand, the desire, and it's good to watch the middle of it. We invite the mother energy up as the right hand invites her through the chakras, and we follow it all the way up, put the head back, and make this nice little symbolic knot, which is essentially the request that the mother energy really flows up to that point and does not come back down. The third time we make 3 knots. And we come back down on the sides. And part 2 is this hip to hip over our head, this horseshoe movement. And again, really, let's go all the way down to the left, then to the right. And each back and forth goes around an aura, which of course corresponds to one of the chakras. So there should be 7 in an ideal world. You'll have also seen today we are addressing the right side with a little bit of a cooling power. I have one of those sort of freezer little objects. So I do have a semi-professional setup whereby I put this around and it has a little pocket, but essentially you can tie the little icy thing with whatever, or just hold it with the hands kind of on the side, or it can also go on the second chakra, so at the level of the groin. And then we have the foot soak in front of us. We will do a little bit of a bandhan on it, give it some clockwise vibrations, and we can ask Mother, please give this foot soak the power to absorb negativity and heat from our subtle system. And then we will gently slide in. Okay. In the world that we live in, it's too hot, it's too aggressive, it's too overactive. So the biggest challenge that most of us face is to slow that down a little bit. There's a few ways of doing that, to going on the effortless side, and we're going to go through a couple of them. And certainly effortless in meditation is where we should aim first. And the most effortless way to let things happen is to watch Shri Mataji's photograph for just a little bit, with our hands nice and open, and receive that love that flows through her, which is that pure motherly love that practically it's the same as our motherly energy, as our Kundalini has. And that in itself will trigger the flow. And as we feel things settling, our eyes will usually kind of want to close as the thoughts go out and the mother energy goes closer to the top and beyond. And we can let them close gently. So to begin with, let's put our right hand towards the Mother Earth. If we're sitting, let it dangle on the side of the chair. Fingers downwards. And the first chakra gives us back our childlike state, which is maybe the most amazing combination of dynamic and effortless. Mother, please completely awaken and establish the eternal child within us. We can ask that a couple of times inside our heart. Please let pure innocence and wisdom flow through all our chakras, all our channels. Please help us establish the effortlessness of the eternal child. Where we are both spontaneous and wise. Very good. We can put the right hand back on our lap. And a general way to allow the heat from the right side to go out easier is to put the left hand up, flex the left elbow, keep the right hand nice and open on our lap. And as the coolness flows through our right hand, kind of chases the extra heat up through the other side. And here we can ask a couple of times, Mother, please remove all excess heat from our liver, which is the hottest spot, and our entire right side. We can ask that a couple of times. From a subtle perspective, the power of our right side is attention, chitta in Sanskrit. So we can ask a few times inside, Mother, please cool and purify our attention. Very good. We can put the left hand back down, and with the right hand cup the base of our neck. So the throat chakra, the Vishuddhi chakra, is where we express our witness power. And of course, the witness, by definition, there is an element of stillness, of non-involvement. And that is one of the greatest ways to cool the right side, is not to get dragged into involvement with whatever's going on. So we will ask a few times, Mother, please help us reach the state of detached witness. Please help us enjoy the divine play without involvement. Very good. Now we will sit for a couple of minutes in meditation, in silence. If we feel that there's still a little bit hot on the right, or we're trying to have thoughts about the future, we can just put the left hand back up and meditate like that. Otherwise, keep them nice and out and follow the flow of the mother energy above our head. good. We can gently open our eyes, and now we can rinse our feet and put the foot soak bucket aside. We don't need to take it away completely. Good. So now we will watch an excerpt of a talk by Shri Mataji, and while we watch again, that receiving witness state with our hands nice and open is how we let the words and what is beyond the words truly fixate best.
And the greatest truth is that we all have become human beings to become the spirit. We are still not in that stage. That's why there are problems around us. Once you become the truth, it being the absolute, you reach the state of absoluteness. Then there is no difference of ideologies, no differences of nation. All nations, one knows, are created by God Almighty. Just He created variety to give a beautiful world to us. Variety always gives beauty. That's why this variety was created, just to make the world very interesting, but not for fighting or for quarreling or for believing that this part belongs to us and that part belongs to somebody else. The human problem, as I have studied, is very simple. Is to be understood in a detached way. Now here you can see the beautiful machinery that is working within ourselves. If you see on the left hand side, we have, somebody should come and show, blue colored line. And the right hand side you see a yellow line. In the center you see a white channel. These are our autonomous nervous systems, 3 channels, left and right sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. When I talk of medical science, people get quite surprised. But it has something to do to understand what are we inside ourselves. Now this parasympathetic nervous system is the system that gives us balance. For example, if I am running fast, my heart will start thumping. But it comes to normal through parasympathetic nervous system. And medical science doesn't know much about the parasympathetic nervous system, which is actually in the center. These chakras are around the parasympathetic nervous system, and like my fingers here, this is the chakra in the center here, and this is the left sympathetic, and this is the right sympathetic, and they both put together make this center to form the parasympathetic. Simple as that. Now, what happens with human beings? That they have a capacity, they have a freedom also to go to the left or to the right. They can be very emotional people. They can go to the emotional side to such an extent that they can become fanatics. They can go further with it so that the left side, which represents our subconscious, then the collective subconscious can be entered into. So they can enter into collective subconscious also. Subconscious also has 3-4 layers. That is, we can say the present subconscious, the past subconscious, and subconscious of ages. Then the collective subconscious, where all that is dead exists in that area. Now, when you move too much on that side, you get attacked by that side. And that side has got all that is dead, which attacks you, which triggers. On the right-hand side, we have got another channel of the right sympathetic nervous system. This channel represents our activity and our future. So when you are overactive, working very hard, you are futuristic, all the time thinking about the future, you start moving towards the right side. To such an extent that you can enter into your collective supraconscious also. In the same way, you have got your present supraconscious and also collective supraconscious. Now, human beings have a capacity that they can move to the left and to the right with their attention. They can project their attention to the left or to the right, or they can be moderate in the center. So when people talked of religion, I mean the real people who came on this earth, they talked of religion. They talked about our valency, that's a human valency, is of 10 number. And that's why they talked of 10 commandments. Or in every religion they talked about it, that we have to keep this balance. When we go out of this balance, then we either move to the left or to the right. But if you see the history of religions, it is just the opposite. That all these religions have created conditionings within us. A kind of a fanaticism, a kind of a blind faith, which was never the purpose of establishing your valencies within yourself. The movement to the right is also another problem of the modern times. When we move to the right, we actually start becoming very egoistical. The activity that we form, the activity that we perform, creates a balloon-like structure on our head, as you see, crossing over here as ego, that yellow stuff. On the left-hand side, when we are conditioned very much, we get another balloon, which we call as superego. Jung also missed the point, because he described that there are layers horizontally placed within ourselves. It is not so. God is a great constructor, and manager. For example, you have put a road for me here. I don't have to pass through different rows. In the same way, he placed everything in a vertical way, and the road to realization is kept free within us.
So let's see if we can stay in this state of meditation for a minute. We can keep our attention at the top of our head. Keep our hands, palms open on our lap.
Let's just maintain this state and just continue watching our attention on the top of our head. We'll just build on the state that we have already achieved. We're already feeling such calm and peace within our being. But if there are still some thoughts coming, it's generally because of the activity of our attention, which becomes unstable if our second energy center, which is Swadhisthana, is too much at work. It's taking the burden of trying to do everything. So let's just take our left hand and place on our right hip area. And just pray to Mother Kundalini to slow down the activity of our thinking by recognizing that divine is the doer and divine is the enjoyer. So let our attention be on our right hip. We can simultaneously place it on our attention on both our right hip area and top of our head, and simply pray to Mother Kundalini. Please take away all the anxieties and all my worries as I surrender completely onto you. As I recognize you, Mother, as the doer, as the enjoyer. Now we'll bring our right hand on our liver, on the right side, right below our sternum bone, more on the right side of our stomach. We'll place the left hand there. Liver is controlled by Swadhisthana and gets heated because of too much activity of the mind, and is also the seat of our attention. So too much heated liver can cause a very fidgety attention. So let's just place our attention completely on our liver and pray to Mother Kundalini. Mother, please power my liver with your eternal coolness and help me experience a detached attention. Now we'll bring our left hand on top of our head. As our attention becomes detached, we start experiencing this oneness with the spirit. Just place the center of our left palm on top of our head. And let's completely concentrate our attention on the point where our hand is touching the top of our head. And just pray to Mother Kundalini. Help me experience the complete union with my spirit. Maintaining our attention there on top of our head, we'll take our left hand down our lap and just stay in meditation for a few minutes. Complete silent meditation. Now, maintaining this state, would gradually open our eyes and just witness Shri Mataji's picture on your screen without thinking anything. Now gradually raise your kundalinis and put yourselves in bandhan. So once again, we'll bring our left hand in front of us and our right hand will go clockwise in front, top and back. We'll tie our left channel first. We'll do the second time, keeping our attention on the center of our palm. And we'll tie two knots to tie our left and our right channels. And then a third time, again, keeping our attention on center of our palm or on top of our head. And now 3. Hopefully you all enjoyed or had an experience of flow of vibrations on top of your head and are feeling a sense of calm and balance throughout this session today. I want to take next couple of minutes to talk about two very important topics. So one is the importance of Shri Mataji Nirmala Devi, who is the founder of Sahaja Meditation, her picture, and then also how to set up your meditation space in your own home. The Shri Mataji's picture, hopefully some of you experienced in this last segment, as to when you're witnessing her picture, the kind of, you can say, acceleration of calm and thoughtlessness that you experience. So Shri Mataji's picture is an unfathomable source of divine vibrations. So when the seeker extends their palms in front of her picture, there is this catalytic action which takes place, which enhances the flow of cool breeze. And it also accelerates your state of awareness and anchors your attention quickly onto the Sahasrara, which is the fundamental state that we are trying to get in our Sahaj meditation journey, is the experience of thoughtless state. That is the state where we are completely disillusioned by the impacts of ego and conditionings. It also establishes this immense sense of emotional calm within you. And if you're experiencing any kind of impedance or any kind of blockage on of any of the energy centers, it alleviates those. So a tremendous vibratory guide for everyone who is going through the Sahaja Yoga journey. Now, in terms of how to set up this space within your own in your own house. So if you look at the altar behind me, and if I may just take a moment to demonstrate this. So what we do is, and I will just turn around for a second. So what we do is we essentially set up a nice and clean place in your house, and establish that as your meditative corner, and then identify a spot which is somewhat at the eye level or slightly above the eye level, where you can nicely place Shri Mataji's picture with on top of a piece of cloth, a nice clean piece of cloth, ideally made up of some kind of a natural fiber, not anything which is plastic based. And then light a candle in front of it. You can use a regular candle or a tea light, which is very safe. And you can light the candle in front of it. And when you sit down for your daily meditation, you can just extend both your palm like this on your lap, in front of Shri Mataji, and just make a very humble prayer that Shri Mataji, please take me into meditation. Please establish my balance. Please establish my thoughtless state. Just extending that hand for a couple of minutes will allow that anchoring to take place on your Sahasrara, and you'll also start feeling some flow on your palms. At that point, you can just raise your Kundalini and take the Bandhan, and then get on with your regular meditative procedure of balancing the left side, balancing the right side, and then taking the affirmations, etc. Once you conclude your meditation, you can again, place your hand in front of Shri Mataji, thanking for the divine vibrations, and then raise your Kundalini and take your Bandhan. And that's how you can go about, setting up your meditation altar in your space, and then performing your daily meditation, morning and evening. You can also perform the foot soaking procedure in front of it, Now, something that I do anytime you're experiencing any kind of blockage on any of the energy centers. You can also, let's say you're trying to remove the blockage from your heart or Nabhi, and it's taking some time because attention is working too much. You can just place your hand towards Shrimaji's photograph in front of the altar and place the right hand on the heart or the Nabhi. And just simple prayer, Shrimaji, let the catch be removed. And then allow the vibrations to act on you. Vibrations act more spontaneously and freely when you just allow it to kind of work on you rather than trying to exert any kind of pressure. So those were some of the thoughts I just wanted to share in terms of how to set up your meditative space. With that, I think we embark onto the next segment of the program where we will be having some presenter sharing. However, before that, we have some key announcements. So as you know, we are all well in motion on our 21-day schedule for this next phase of session 2, where we started last week on Feb 26th, and we'll be continuing on this journey Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday for next 7 weeks, all the way until April 14th. And we'll be meeting each of these days at 8:45 p.m. New York time. On the alternate days of Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on the same Zoom link, we'll be meeting for the collective foot soak and meditation. So please join us for that as well. Next, today we talked about the right side. We'll be again meeting this Thursday to go over the mothering energy of Kundalini. Kundalini is the power which is giving us our enlightenment. So we'll talk more about that on Thursday. So the program resources that we touched on briefly as part of the introduction of the program. Once again, as Heidi also pointed out, the great success we have had with the mentoring program. And the best way to access that is fill out the form, post it in the Zoom chat, and then join our community on WhatsApp as well. And we'll be able to pair you up with the right mentor. And once again, all the live session links are available for you. All the previous session recordings, handouts, everything is available on the URL provided. Please go and review those. Now, you can also request the breakout room help by clicking the plus button on the chat and request the breakout room help. And you will be paired with a Sahaja Yoga teacher. You can also ask additional questions by doing a private message. You can click on the plus button in the chat and select Chat Q&A from the drop-down list, and you'll be able to ask questions. At this point, I would like to invite Andrei and Heidi back into the main room to go over some experiences. Welcome back, Andrei. Welcome back, Heidi.
Thank you, Prashant.
It was a great program. I mean, it just completely transcended us, beyond our working of our mind, which always keeps us, which is so elusive and keeps us away from experiencing this beautiful state. So thanks for that. So let's just go through some of the questions that we are receiving, and hopefully you can share some of your experiences and examples alongside to provide some additional color to it. So one of the questions that we have is that as a Sahaja Yogi, how do you use the right side in a dynamic way, which is, of course, without effort? And if there's an example that you can share to illustrate that. And maybe, Heidi, we can start with you first to see what your thoughts are.
So that's an excellent question. It actually didn't come naturally to me. I really had to make a deliberate study of how to do that through watching myself and watching other people. Because I think I was trained growing up to work real hard, and I'm naturally kind of emotional. So to get things done in an effortless way didn't really come naturally to me. But the key words I would say that I've seen and that I practice now is to be relaxed inside, but to have a clear focus of what's the goal, what needs to be done, either in a job or in life, and not to hold on to that like just as a goal, but not how you get there. And then to be, excuse me, observant and watchful, to be alert for opportunities, because the spontaneity comes when you notice the better way to do it rather than having a preset idea. So it does happen to me that I might naturally try to push for things by what the way my mind says, oh, it should be done. So I really, really try to relax. I did work professionally with children, and now I'm a grandma watching a baby. So that does push you towards the more spontaneous, relaxed way of doing things. But I really do have to watch myself to not push. And so it always works so much better than you imagine if you do it that way. If you can stay, and ultimately, of course, the more you meditate, it happens more spontaneously. But I do have to watch myself for, to stay in the center.
Absolutely. Beautifully described. Thank you for sharing that. Andre, how about yourself?
Well, I mean, I do have a bit of an extreme kind of jobs, and it's also very instructive in this direction if once you sort of get to a certain point where you see that we do whatever we know, whatever we can, but the results aren't really, we can't really claim the results. The results are whatever. And I'm lucky. I work in an area of medicine where the vast majority of the time you witness small babies doing very, very well, even if they were very, very sick to begin with. So that's fantastic. But with time and age, you realize that happens mostly because of what's inbuilt in them rather than what we do. And I think a dose of humility grows on you as the time goes by, and I think discovering the enjoyment of that humility was certainly a big key for me to not get lost, into this being the doer kind of business.
Great. Yeah. Well, thanks for sharing. So, I mean, I would say along similar lines, right? So, what Heidi you said and Andre, you kind of shared this beautiful example. In my line of work, I mean, I'm into consulting, and it generally involves sort of breaking heads with a lot of big egos, and there is always people who have got competing interests. And the day, is generally kind of course, as we have in each of our jobs, it's packed with all different kind of, you can say, sessions and meetings and whatnot. And it's almost impossible to prepare for each one of them. And sometimes that can totally overwhelm you. That you get up in the morning and you look at your calendar and it is just looking completely blue from end to end, and it can certainly overwhelm you. So you have to sort of rely on this innate power of Sahaja Yoga, to literally expose yourself to situation, and let the situation and let your inner force sort of guide you, and be spontaneous, as you were saying, Heidi, right? Let the be confident enough to kind of put yourself there and express yourself. And I can't tell you how many times, I go into the meeting or into a session thinking, what am I going to say over there? And it happens almost always when I'm going, without any preparation and, just walking in and things just happen. And it's almost difficult to describe in words, but the right things come out of your mouth or you say the right things and somehow it all kind of just works out and you just come out of the meeting thinking, what did I just say? And how did that happen, or something just kind of works. And I think that is the quality of dynamism, which is working when you are just witnessing it rather than, overwhelming yourself with a lot of stress of emotions and over preparing, overthinking, and it becomes a drag when you do that, and when you just react spontaneously, it just kind of works out. And I would have, loved if Neil was here because I'm sure I've heard so many musicians talk about that. That when they meditate and they're in this great state of balance and they go and play the raga or something, and it just their fingers they start moving, and they start expressing themselves beautifully. So yeah, excellent. Yeah. So another question that I have over here is that how can you tell if you are being too right-sided, and what do you do or not do about it? So any symptoms of being right-sided, or how we kind of catch ourselves that okay, yeah, I'm being right-sided now. Maybe Andre, you can start this time.
Well, certainly, in the beginning, there's going to be other people telling you rather than you picking it up,
That's true.
and and that's where you have to really stop and consider carefully, because often people are saying, "Hey, man, you're trying to climb on my head, right?" or something of that nature, and you have to. And I surely remember a couple of those, um, and where in not very many, luckily, but they're once you have a couple of those, especially if the people who are telling you they're actually your close people, right? Or your friends or mentors, and they're saying it really nicely, it really sticks to you. And that helps you to realize that you really have to watch it.
Hmm.
Once you start watching it, you'll start catching it. And then obviously then there's the feeling, right? The direct feeling that I have, you feel the liver is hot, your right side
Yeah.
is hot, and the things like why can't it just be Zen, right? And
Hmm.
as the Zen establishes more and more, when you deviate from the Zen, you're like, it's it. I don't want that, right? But in the beginning, when you're not really sure where the Zen is, it's a little bit more, yeah. But and what you do of course, you do first and foremost, you say, hey, buddy, slow down, buddy.
Yeah.
And then don't take yourself too seriously, right? Like that's really the what just calm down. What are you? Why are you getting excited? And then secondly, just the simple stuff, literally. I mean, just putting the left over the right, just doing half the bandhan. As Shri Mataji said, putting the love into the hot channel, that just helps tremendously. Just go hide somewhere and do this until you're like, oh, okay, this is better, nice, right? So just basic stuff.
Yeah. How about you, Heidi?
I feel like for me, it's watching my inner tension level because I can get right-sided in action, but also in emotion. And, we always think the left channel is the emotion and the right channel is action. But I did learn that anything extreme is the right side. So sometimes, I can see the tension, the overexcitement, the pushing, or just the strike of the feeling, and so I feel like the earth is the thing that balances the right and the left. And so sometimes I would just, you know, seek outside and really, or even if I'm inside, put all my attention on Mother Earth and ask to have that earth absorb the excess tension, because I do have a tendency to get either too emotional or too tense, and I might cover it up, but I feel it. And of course, the being too rigid in your opinion is a little harder to see, as Andrei was saying at first, but now I feel it's also the inner tension.
No, makes sense. Yeah. And I think that point that you mentioned about, uh, the right side emotion, right? So it's the whole thing about the uh, three concentric circles that we have, right? So our channels, which we represent on the subtle system as three parallel, you can say, lines. It really is the three concentric circles, and you're absolutely right that right side people, or I've noticed that thing in myself when sometimes I switched into that mode, you become too sensitive, because you want things done a certain way, you want certain outcomes, you have huge expectations, and that is again a symptom of right side where you are deviating from that aspect of spontaneity and dynamism. You have set outcomes in mind, you have set expectations in mind, and when things deviate from that, you are all of a sudden very sensitive and reactive, and so certainly I have caught myself, and I think over the years what has become better is that you tend to recognize those patterns early enough, that way you're able to catch them early rather than going all the way spiraling downhill and then falling on the ground and then realizing you just become better at catching those early on. And I would say I've become certainly over the years, when I first came into Sahaj, 30 years back, had huge, I would say, anger management issues. Always a good kid, but used to lose my temper quite often. Because things were not being done my way. And stuff like that. And over the course of time, you start understanding. You become more, you can say, balanced about things, and then you recognize those patterns better. So. And then again, as Andre, you took us through the whole so the whole thing about what you do and what you not do. So I think, I guess, as you demonstrated today, right, ice pack, a huge. I I still sometimes, at the end of the day, find myself in a very complex state of mind, and then I'm like, you know what? I can do an ice pack, and you just put an ice pack and things just soothe down. You're
Life
able
saving.
to, yeah, absolutely. There are so many people who complain about insomnia, that, okay, I just cannot sleep, and that is because the body is tired, but the mind is still working. You put an ice pack and you sleep like a baby, you know.
Totally.
So same thing, maybe light cold water foot soak, we generally talk about the lukewarm, but yeah, if you're experiencing an overactive mind, you can always do a,
Lukewarm is until people learn where they're at, right, and how to. It's a starting point, but obviously, yeah, yeah.
exactly, yeah, excellent, yeah. So those are the kind of things that people can do as they're listening, in case if they are experiencing these symptoms of fidgetiness, anger, harshness, or becoming a little too acerbic in their temperament, they can do these techniques to balance themselves out. I
Or
think
they
the next
simply
one
work
is,
too much.
yeah, absolutely. The next one, I believe, is something along similar lines. So we can certainly, touch on it. It says, tell more about the ice or other simple techniques that clear the right side. I don't know if it requires any further elaboration over here, but I believe
I think there's already a few things that people can try.
exactly. Yeah, yeah. I guess the next one is probably it's a good question that, they're starting to do meditation now and they're wondering how to stay quiet longer. And their attention keeps on pulling them on the outside, so what kind of, you can say, techniques they can use to, witness or stay experience that inner calm more. um, Any thoughts around that, Heidi, maybe?
Well, practice makes perfect, as they say. So, if you want to be a good flute player, you have to practice. If you want to be a good tennis player, you have to practice. And really, with meditation, when you start, if you, we're really seeing that being able to come frequently to a meditation is helping people really, really a lot. Sometimes if people could just go once a week to a group meditation, that's not that often. Really meditating, making an attempt to meditate, putting your attention on meditation, desiring to meditate, and then being not having expectations. Like here you might hear, oh, people have complete silence for periods of time, but just noticing what you do feel and enjoying what you do feel is really important, and not to be mentally discouraged if you don't. It's kind of like your mind is saying, okay, I want to do this. And then if it's not doing it, your mind chatters away. So the more you can just focus on what am I feeling and just enjoying that. But a plug for coming frequently to the class, and to, you know, sometimes as a mentor, you might, arrange some other times to meditate, because it is the frequency I feel, and the enjoyment rather than getting frustrated. That's what I found.
No, absolutely. I mean, just to kind of add to that, one thing that I have felt in my journey is that, trying not to really fight your thoughts and, just witnessing them rather than trying to, so as you're meditating, you're doing your left balancing, your right balancing, and you still start feeling vibrations on your palms, but then for that inner calm to settle in, you really have to witness your thoughts and almost, let them just come and go rather than trying to suppress them. So, and then other thing that we discussed today in our session today is, you can certainly leverage Shri Mataji's photograph. If you're having that difficulty, accelerating that calm within yourself, just witnessing her picture for a few minutes, and just a simple prayer, to allow this thing to work, and your thoughtless state to settle in. Just making a simple, you can say, wish from your heart, that goes a long way, and it allows you to settle in better. Andre, you want to top off with
No, no.
any
I mean, when we
additional comments?
started,
Yeah.
when we started many years back, certainly that was the for me personally. Shimadaji's photograph was the key, no question about it. Both at the public program, and we're talking a hall with 100 people, 200 people.
Right.
The photo that was displayed over there, and as well as at home, that it just seemed to really make everything else disappear, and I don't know, everybody's mileage might vary, but certainly for me it made everything else disappear. I had zero anything else going on, and that was just so obvious, like there was nothing about it. So when you start from having tasted that, then you can experiment, right? But
Right.
that was the absolutely sure 100% of the time kind of thing, right? And the other part is where in one of the early talks, where Shimadaji says that every time that if we're a little bit too busy in our head to go to our heart, right? And the other way, if we're a little bit too full for our heart to go to our head, and really trying to pay attention to the heart in this very busy right-sided world, to the feeling, right? To the fact that the divine is love, is pure love, and just it needs the heart to feel it, and really just focus on that, on the feeling of pure love. And that just calm. Obviously some days we're on the left, right? Like something
Hmm.
happened, and so then we go to, I'm none of that. I am the detached. We go towards the brain a little bit more, right? But
Right.
but but most days is the heart, right? I mean, certainly in my running around,
Yep.
running around faster and faster world, right? So
Fantastic. Okay, thank you for sharing that. Those were some fantastic stories and comments. I don't see there are any more questions here. So maybe one last chance to the audience to, jump in if they have with anything. Um, okay, I guess that's it for this evening. Well, thank you so much for your time, Andre, and thank you so much, Heidi,
It was
for
fantastic
joining.
sharing with
Yeah.
you, and certainly Neil was
Oh, Neil
off the
was
charts
fantastic.
tonight,
Yeah, we
no
just love
question.
that flute rendition. Yeah.
Fantastic.
All right.
Good
Have
night,
a
everybody. Have a
good
lovely time
night and good
meditating,
evening.
friends.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.